Hey guys. Yes, my bed is absolutely disheveled because #mom life. So this is just realness. This week has been chaotic and it has been tiring and just general like ugh. So I decided to channel my inner 90s angsty Courtney Love today and come to you as a hot mess. You're welcome. You know, we get through, well, mainly through a week like this, and you think, I've done nothing to combat this, right? Like, being a witch is something that, for whatever reason, slips my mind in the most important times. Like, I'm not meaning like, you know, during the week, it was the new moon, so I did workings then, but like, never stopped Monday to do the things that I should have done when I needed them. I remembered about that Thursday and was like, I could have made something to help myself out, and like I just didn't. Reevaluation. That's been my week this week. Just like, what are you doing, Dani? So let me tell you about it and you'll understand. So I decided, girl, #self-care. So I'm going to the dentist. I had a tooth that was kind of bothering me. I didn't know what was going on. So I was like, we're getting that fixed now. So I go to the dentist and they were like, I don't know what's wrong with your tooth, but what we'll do is, there was like resin on top as like a preventative whatever from ages ago. And like, maybe it's gone, you know, away a bit. So what we'll do is we will recap your old ancient silver filling and we'll put a little bit more resin on that one and you should be fine. You guys, my jaw still hurts. That was Monday. It is Friday. And the thing is, my tooth feels fine. The work they did feels fine. But my mouth is really small. I know. That's the only time I've ever been told my mouth was small. Like, you have a big fucking mouth, Dani. I know. But size-wise, it is small. And this tooth is like way back there. All the way in the back. So they're like trying to open my mouth real wide, and I'm pretty sure I bruised my whole jaw. So we just got my whole face hurting. Hence the reason I'm like, I could have made something. No, I wait till Thursday to pull out my jaw potion, if you will, my spell for jaw pain. And I feel better already. I'm gonna put some more on today. But like, I waited, like I'm like, I was suffering for like 3 days before I was like, I have something for this. What an idiot. Anyway. So that's been happening. So I had to sit in a dentist chair for like 4 hours for just like preventative care. So dumb. I regretted every minute of it. I mean, I'm glad my tooth doesn't bother me. I mean, it wasn't that bad looking back on the pain that I suffered this week, but I'm not gonna complain. So I did that. So I had to sit in a chair all day. Then the next day was Tuesday. What did I do Tuesday? I don't even remember. I did something on Tuesday. Oh, one of our friends is putting together her new little shop at her house. She sells candles. You may have seen her if you've watched some of my other videos. So my husband went to help her and her wife put up the walls and stuff in there. But before he left, he found a baby kitten in the yard. So on Tuesday, we acquired a new member to the household. His name is Benny. And so it has been filled with little kitten mews for the rest of the week. So we took care of Benny. He's got fleas. So we have been bathing him and brushing him because he's way too small. You can probably hear Lennon meowing with him. He's way too small for any other kind of flea treatment. So we're doing washes, comb throughs, blow dries. Benny will be totes cool with water after this week, I'm sure. And then Wednesday, I went and do my little pink. It looks a mess. Jacob would be appalled if he saw his hair talents represented in this way, but you know, hashtag life. So got lots of hashtags today. So then I had to go and sit in a chair for like ever because I had to do like bleaching up and then toner, so that took forever. So I feel like I've like sat down and been in pain all week long. Yesterday was spent working, so I'm exhausted. I mean, I do need to work again today, but I think I'm gonna go meet my friend for maybe some coffee this afternoon, bring her makeup that I got for her at the salon, and then I think I'm gonna create today. I really do. It has been my intention all week long. And I did do a little bit of spurts in between, but like, I just want to be that way because tomorrow I have art walk, which I'm excited for because it's rainy and nasty right now, but it's cold or cooler, Louisiana cold, which is wet and cold. So, I'm really excited because that usually draws a lot of people out. It's going to be our first November market, which is going to be fantastic. So I have that to do tomorrow. So like I can't be creative tomorrow. So I am going to try to do that today and fulfill my desire to do something, put something on paper or canvas or whatever I choose to do. So I thought, just as a reset, that I would come and talk to you guys today and pull some cards for the rest of the week, to see what we need to let go of, what we want to bring in, and any kind of advice or guidance. So we're gonna do that. I grabbed my John Bauer tarot. My John Bauer tarot. And we're gonna pull some cards from that because I love this deck. It's got those fall vibes. Now it's finally like, I'm about to make me another cup of coffee, make me some breakfast, and get some work did before I go have some more coffee or maybe tea with my friend later. If I can sneak him away from Lennon, I'll show you guys Benny before we leave. Before we wrap it up. It's been a long day. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. Benny and Charlie are fast friends.
Yep.
Charlie, I'm trying to show Benny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. These almost got away from me, you guys. Okay. Here we go. All right, we got some pentacles for the rest of this week. All right, first we're starting off with the 7 of Pentacles. Cultivating, you guys. Like, when I see this one, this little bitty girl in these huge tall trees, I always imagine her having planted them the night before, and she's come back and they've just grown into the sky, and she's amazed by this. And I feel like, you know, that's kind of the takeaway, you know, into this beginning part of the week, going into the rest and the weekend. Like, take a step back and look at all the things that you've cultivated. Look at what you've been through and where you are. And like I said, I complained about my first part of the week. It's out, it's done. But I really did accomplish quite a bit. I had so many things done in the beginning of the week, and have been occupied so much at every point in time during the day that, you know, I almost forget what I've done. So I look back and I see a clean house, not a clean bed. I see a clean house. Everything's been kept up with. We have a new furry baby. We have, you know, a prettier smile. And I've helped a friend. I've made, you know, a couple of things this week. I've completed a few projects this week. I really did cultivate quite a bit of stuff. And the things that didn't go so well or didn't feel so good or didn't pan out like I thought they would, I can leave that alone. I can walk away from that and just pay attention to all the good things this week. So I really like this card. What did I say this was going to be going into? Like, what we're going into? Movement. The Chariot. I really like this representation because of all the stuff that's on here. Like, when you move forward, you don't have to go empty-handed. You bring the tools that you need. You bring the things that are going to benefit you. And for me personally, I feel like this is exactly what I feel like when I go and set up for our little markets, for you know, our walk and all our little things, because I am by myself setting them up. I meet up with my friend Alicia and her wife, but Jacob is still at school, so it's just me and all my piles and boxes of stuff. And I just do it anyway, right? I go in bound and determined, and I set my space, and I set my intentions, and I just allow the night to unfold. And I think that's important sometimes, is just to be like, you know what? It doesn't matter if this is kind of tough. It doesn't matter if it's a heavier load. You can still do it. Just pull it in, get it done, and then just enjoy what you've accomplished, you know? So this is a great one for kind of what we're going into for the weekend. And lastly, the Three of Pentacles. And you know, I think it's funny because that's kind of been another theme this week. My friend and I talked a lot this week about teamwork and like being better when we work with others. And I think like that sort of advice, that sort of guidance towards the end of the week is like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to collaborate. Don't be afraid to share ideas with someone, because I feel like sometimes, like what just struck me, like sometimes we get a bit competitive when there's no need to be. You know, we feel threatened if someone else is doing the same thing that we do, or creating the same type of things that we create, or talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's like almost a defense mechanism that comes up. And you know, you think of it as like, okay, we make jewelry for some of these markets. We are not the only people in the world that make jewelry. You know what I mean? We have gemstone bracelets. We are certainly not the only people in the whole wide world who make gemstone bracelets. So why be defensive when someone else comes in with something similar than, you know, as you? And we had a little bit of that the last art walk. Someone came in who had done jewelry, who does jewelry. It was her first market there. And I mean, we've been there. We've been going to this market for a year and a half now. Always in the same spot, always the same thing. Like, that's our space, you know? Well, she comes in and was like super jaded that we were there and selling jewelry, and she had jewelry. I'm like, you have nothing the same as us. Like, it was kind of strange because as a group of people, we're always super together. We tell each other about things, we work together, we share ideas, we collaborate, and all kinds of great stuff. And we had someone come in who was like super defensive, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like, just because someone else does something does not diminish your worth. It doesn't diminish your product, your idea, your thoughts. So don't be afraid to just embrace the fact that sometimes we're the same. And that's the strong feeling that I'm getting for the end of this week. Like, don't be competitive when you don't need to be, because if you're competitive, you miss out on maybe the knowledge that someone else has to give, or maybe the ideas that you could throw around with someone else. And you know, competition is ridiculous when it comes to most things, because in the end it's all about you. The only person you're hurting being competitive and standoffish is yourself. You know, people will, you know, in this case, people will buy from whoever they want to buy with. You know, we have a great attitude, you know, when it comes to our markets. We're there for fun and to meet new people and to share the things that we have. You know, we had a great time. We generally enjoyed ourselves. Whereas you looked over and she was so busy comparing herself that she had a miserable time. And it's like, that's the moral of the story. Like, just have fun. Who cares? Because people would look at our stuff. They might hold a bracelet that we had and then walk next door and saw the same bracelet and said, oh, I really like this because you're really friendly and I think I'm going to get it from you. You know? It's all about vibes. You know, we talk about that all the time. The content that we produce on YouTube. I may talk about, you know, the John Bauer Tarot, and 35 other people might talk about it, you know? Some people will watch all of them because they like the tarot, right? They like that tarot. They want to see as much as they can. Other people might watch me because they like my style, my aesthetic, the way that I speak, the way that I have weird hair all the time. You know, they might love someone else because they like the way that they review things, you know, like it's the same content, but that doesn't make the 35 people who've done this with me any less. And I think that's what I'm going on a tangent. I know, I'm sorry, but like that's the main feel that I'm getting from this advice is like, you know, work with people, not against. Don't alienate yourself. And the reason for that, like, I feel like she has sort of put herself above, and she's got this one person kissing her feet. And these other three look like they've been through this ordeal together, right? They've gone through this treacherous land to get here. And they've done that together. And they've accomplished this together. And she's just standing there expecting everyone to fall at her feet, and they're just like, but we've done the same thing. And it's okay for us all to be up on that pedestal, you know? So yeah, let's remember that. Let's be kind and loving like we should be. Find you someone to work with this weekend. Find you someone to throw around ideas, to be creative with, to talk to. And don't base your worth off of what someone else is doing. That's kind of where we are this week, the end of this week. So thanks for listening to me ramble and bitch a bit. But I do love you guys, and I'll be back soon. Much love as always. If you're looking for me, you can find me below if you want to continue to watch my videos. I usually post one at least once a week, so be sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And like I said, I have links below: Instagram, Facebook group, all kinds of other stuff. So if you're interested in joining in the conversation, just come and join us. See you guys later. Bye.